Maybe we need to change the word for the youngsters. The checking in part, is they seem to get hung up on that word check. Basically, nobody Prince family in Houston. Nobody, including the cops. Cops know what it is. Jay Prince is supposed to be this gangster, this mob figure, and everyone has to, in Houston that comes through has to come and check in. But, it's very rare that you would see a mobster or even let's say El Chapo or anybody doing interviews not take off and nobody from Houston, attack nobody until, the homie that was with them would take off them, whatever his name may be. He giving all kinds of statements. So, big news just dropped, y'all. Federal files finally came out showing the feds were secretly building a case on Jay Prince for years. And if you know about Jay Prince and his come up, people in hip-hop have been calling him out for years, and especially his son for shady behavior. There have been allegations that Prince Jr. had something to do with Takeoff and Duke the Jeweler's setup and murder. Apparently, Prince Jr. has a pattern when it comes to dice games in Houston and sketchy outcomes. And then there's Jay Prince, Sr. While the feds were building a case against him for years, calling Rap-A-Lot a silent cartel, not a single charge ever stuck. But it looks like that's about to change. And based on these new files that just leaked, Jay Prince's RICO case is going to be wild. Let's break it down. All that check-in where he concern is a lie. None of it facts. All right, let's talk about why Jay Prince might actually get hit with a RICO case. The feds already saw Prince as the head of a so-called silent rap cartel. And now that more names are getting tied to violent incidents around him and his circle, it wouldn't be a surprise if they dust off that old case and run it back with fresh charges. Here's why that matters. RICO is designed to take down people who run things from the top, even if they never touch the crime directly. Those DEA files from the 90s and 2000s already painted Prince as a shot caller, someone controlling an enterprise under the cover of Rap-A-Lot Records. But back then, it didn't stick because the agents were dirty. But now the streets are full of stories and the pattern is getting harder to ignore. So these new files basically show that the government already believed Prince was running something way deeper than a label. And if they can prove those old suspicions were right, and that nothing's changed, they can build a RICO case today using the same blueprint. Only now they've got fresh bodies, internet receipts, and multiple people in the industry who are no longer scared to speak on it. See, Jay Prince has been tied to shady things like extortion and street politics for years, but only recently has his name been popping up in headlines again for some seriously questionable moves. Like back in July 2020 when NBA YoungBoy spot in Houston was hit and some of his things were stolen. Instead of staying quiet, Jay Prince went public saying he had the stuff and could return it, which a lot of people took as a flex of power or low-key trying to extort him. So while we was gone, I got a call, you know what I mean, because the little homie YoungBoy place got broke into. People went in this place, disrespected different things, and I got a call about it, and the little homeless that went into this place want to make that right because they understand that, you know what I mean? YoungBoy family is okay with me. And as you can see, homie, to make a long story short, I got your keys to your Rolls Royce. I got your keys. To your McLaren, all that they took, and the homie Shakur, what you got, homie? We got your Rolls umbrellas, you got your keys, got a bunch of other. So, get in contact with us, bro. Get your ivories back. Oh, good. Waiting on you. But YB wasn't having it. He jumped on IG Live and made it clear to Jay Prince that he doesn't mess with that kind of stuff. Hey, I know friends, I own no new relationships, all that. Hey, I don't respect none of this. If you got something for me around me, you could call. It's plenty ways you can get in touch with me, man. Don't get on no internet and do nothing publicly. Don't do nothing dealing with no publicity, none of that. And I'm good on keys, gangster. When you buy Jogs Your Cash, 2 keys come with the car anyway. I ain't businessman. And then, of course, there was Takeoff, who was tragically killed in Houston on November 1st, 2022, while allegedly under the protection of Jay Prince's son, Jazz Prince. Now, remember when Kendrick Lamar dropped Euphoria where he raps, "His daddy a killer. He want to be Junior." They must have forgot the ish that they done. Dementia must run in his family, but let it get shaky. I'll park his son. Well, this was allegedly a reference to Jay Prince and Jasper, and their alleged involvement in Takeoff's death. But Takeoff wasn't the first to die after one of Jay Prince's dice games. A few months before that, Chicago's Duke the jeweler scored big, walking away with $100K. But that win didn't end well. He was robbed, ambushed, and fatally shot before he even reached his car. But why exactly are the feds building a case against Jay Prince now? Well, it's not just because of those high-profile deaths or sketchy dice games. It's about how the whole operation around him looks like an organized enterprise that mixes music, money, violence, and street politics. And that's a recipe the feds love to indict. RICO is designed to go after people running criminal enterprises from the top, whether or not they ever personally commit a crime. The law lets prosecutors connect a chain of related illegal acts and say, you're responsible because you're the boss pulling the strings. That's exactly the kind of case the DEA files were hinting at when they called Rapalote a silent cartel back in the day. And the newest leaked DEA files show Jay Prince was under surveillance for years, with wiretaps, informants, undercover stings, the whole 9 yards. Back in 2024, there were even reports in the media that the feds raided his offices. But Prince quickly denied this and said, "The people that start these rumors tell lies for a living. I don't have time to keep up with their BS." But it looks like these aren't just rumors, and the feds are closing in on Jay Prince and his empire. Now, the problem in the past was that the main agents involved in the investigation were crooked. Some were caught stealing, fabricating evidence, and lying under oath. So the case stalled, and Rapalote's empire stayed intact. But the situation today is different, and the situation has changed in 2 major ways. First, there's more violent fallout tied to people connected to the princess. The deaths of Duke the jeweler and Takeoff after dice games where Prince Jr. was present aren't just unfortunate coincidences. Now, Jay Prince and his son repeatedly denied they had anything to do with these incidents, but prosecutors could argue that these allegations show a pattern of violent enforcement tied to the family's operations. If they can link those killings to efforts to control territory, silence rivals, or send a message to the streets, that's classic predicate behavior for RICO. We're associating me with that D-jeweler situation because I went to Losi pool party, and he happened to be there, and he happened to be standing on me. I mean, right next to me. The truth is, I never met him before. I had no idea who he is. I ain't even know he was a jeweler until after his passing. And then the night of that game isn't the night that he got killed. He got leaving Bowie concert the next night because somebody tried to rob him. So, the internet play internet games. But this is a situation with a dude that I didn't even know. I ain't know his name. I had no knowledge of him. I ain't know. He was from Chicago. I ain't know he was a jeweler until social media start trying to point a finger because he was standing next to me. And it's just unfortunate that something transpired after another dice game, but neither incidents had anything to do with the dice game. And then there's also all the social media and leaked footage with people like Charleston White, Bowie, and 50 Cent hinting that Jay Prince and his son have been setting people up for years. You know what's a sucker to me? A sucker pick who he be fight with, right? Like if you see you, oh, I'm not going to because this, yeah, I think I can take him, right? You want to fight the bite you think you can be. And I called Jay Prince in the mouth. I'm saying he didn't say nothing to whack. So when you come talking to me, I feel like you're very selective. This is exactly what I meant last week when I was talking about street being selective. They got selections of who they think they're gonna get tough with. So I feel this is a must for me to say something because you can't be selective with us because we're not the weakest on the chart to deal that with. No wonder they mobbed time. No wonder everybody got to check in, y'all. Now I'm checking in with the police department. Police department told me, "Hey man, you got problem with Mr. James Prince? Austin, we hear you got problem with Jane Prince. Man, we scared of him. I swear to God, y'all. I just got the call from the Houston Mayor's office in the Gang Unit Police Department in Houston, Texas. They are scared of fire to rap a lot. And this what I'm telling the Houston Police Department, y'all can suck my two." And then on top of all this, DJ Academics publicly claimed that Jay Prince has Houston police on his payroll. Basically, nobody Prince family in Houston. Nobody, including the cops. Cops know what it is. Then there's the business side. Rap-A-Lot and mob ties aren't just record labels or clothing lines. They apparently allegedly function like enterprises with chains of command. And if prosecutors prove these businesses are fronts for illegal activity, say extortion, intimidation, or money laundering, that alone can crack the door open for RICO. Also, look at the public statements from J. Prince Sr. and Jr. after these violent incidents. There's a pattern of controlling the narrative, sending mixed messages, and refusing to cooperate with authorities. Classic signs of people trying to manage risk and protect an illegal enterprise. And prosecutors love that kind of behavior. It helps prove consciousness of guilt. Clown that came here. I wish he wouldn't have never came with Quo. I wish he wouldn't have never brought this you into Houston because he can't think. You know what I mean? This whole root of everything happening from his actions and to be frank honest about the situation. I wish that bullet would have hit him instead of take off because he was the one that deserved that. So, historically, RICO charges don't require the boss to be directly involved in a murder or robbery. They just need to prove that he knowingly participated in the enterprise that ordered or benefited from those acts. So even if J.P. Prince never pulled the trigger or physically threatened anyone, prosecutors can argue he created the environment where those crimes happened and profited from it. And then another angle the feds could use is financials. Growlot, mob ties, and associated businesses have millions flowing through them. So if any of that money can be traced back to illegal activity like bribes, protection payments, or proceeds. From robberies, that's money laundering. And money laundering is a key part of many RICO cases. It's also important to note how these alleged leaked DEA files refer to Rap-A-Lot as a silent cartel. That's significant. The word cartel implies a criminal syndicate controlling a market or territory. Rap-A-Lot's long history of controlling the Houston rap scene, pushing independent Black ownership, and allegedly running dice games and street-level enforcement lines up with that. So one of the biggest challenges for J. Prince will be separating his business from the violent and illegal behavior of people around him, especially his son. The streets see the Prince name as a brand, and that makes it easier for prosecutors to say the entire operation is an enterprise. So, what's next? Well, with these rumored DEA files out in the open, federal prosecutors have fresh ammunition to go after the Princes like never before. They can resurrect that silent cartel narrative, add new predicate crimes tied to recent deaths and public accusations, and if they build a strong enough case, we could see indictments that shake the Houston rap world to its core. Well, I want to know your thoughts on all this. Do you think the feds actually have a strong case to go against J. Prince for RICO? Or is this another false alarm? Leave your comments below and I'll catch you in the next video.